Good morning and welcome to another edition of Company 119's The Coffee Cup. I'm Ryan Gilgerson, lead creative here at Company 119, and we thank you very much for joining us. We've been talking a lot about PPC advertising, different ways you can advertise in Google and increase your search ranking results. And today we're going to talk about another aspect of that digital advertising circle, which is display advertising. Now, display advertising has a lot of different ways in which it appears. Display advertising is really any graphic or visual advertisement that appears online. Some people even consider what they do on Facebook and their social media posts as some display advertising. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Part of display advertising, when you're trying to maximize results, has to do with targeting. We're going to get into some of that later as well on a different episode where we talk about the actual strategy behind display advertising. But today I wanted to bring in our head designer, Jon Klein, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about the creative side of creating good display ads. So Jon, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me in the studio today. I don't get to usually sit on this side of the camera.
You might know Jon as Virtual Assistant Jon, but today he's really here. Now we have Virtual Assistant Chad in the other room, which means things could get a little crazy today.
It's a difference.
So listen, when we're talking about display advertising, Jon, what do you consider to be a display ad?
Anything that's going to show imagery rather than just the text that you would see in other ads. You know, there's a lot of text ads out there that'll be voice or just text, and we do create a lot of those different things. But the display ones will be the ones that actually have an image, a call to action, and a message within them, and some sort of text, some sort of pictures that are there throughout the design as well.
What kind of display ads have we done for clients in terms of where they appeared, where on different platforms? Like, where do we place display ads for clients?
Yeah, we focus on a lot of the ones that'll appear either on their social media or within actual display ads through Google. So that could be any website, and depending on how you're targeting, if you're targeting through competitors' websites or wherever your ads are placed, pretty much anywhere you could see a Google display ad, you could see an ad that we've created.
Is there any merit to the notion that motion in display, like, is a display ad still a display ad if there's motion involved with it, or how does that change things? Is there a belief that catches the eye?
Yeah, there's so when you're designing it, it's originally it was just, okay, let's get some movement in there because there was a lot of just still images. So then people would add a lot of things. Google then was pretty hard on those designs that were, they'd be a lot of flashing ads. You remember probably from when ads were starting to show up on anywhere on the web. They were starting to get pretty annoying. They would pop up, there would be flashing, there would be an offer inside of them, and some unbelievable offer, and they'd just be absolutely terrible, obnoxious designs that could trigger people that had the epilepsy stuff. So they were really bad. So then Google used that and started to kind of work their way to making sure people had to have the ads, the design, the animations, had to adhere to their rules to make sure they weren't annoying, and there would be the right amount of text compared to imagery, so it wasn't just a big blob of text that would appear. Which still happens on Facebook and places like that. But what you want to do is just make sure that when you're designing it, it's the right amount of motion for whatever ad you're doing. So we'll still create ads that have motion in them, and in order to encourage people towards it. But it's making sure it's not obnoxious. Because a lot of times you want your ad to appear, if they're going to appear, especially on social media designs, we want to make sure that when you're scrolling through, it's not something that's going to pop out and annoy you and break the pattern of your social media experience in a bad way. Because we do want to obviously gather attention towards you, especially through social media. We do want people to be able to click on it, but people are constantly scanning through, even through their friends list. They're looking through pictures that their friends have done, and they're able to say, okay, this was a good picture, this was a bad picture. Everyone's constantly judging quality. So it's becoming more and more vital that if you're going to have an ad, you're going to have something on there that's not a close personal friend of theirs posting an image. You want to make sure it's still going to be something that's pleasing to the eyes, something that's going to be, help their experience and make it look better.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Do you give much thought into how color plays with display ads, like using different colors to elicit different responses or emotions, or do you kind of create based on company branding and colors? Where do you make that determination?
Yeah, it's actually a balance between the two. One, we need to make sure that the branding stays consistent. Because if you click on an ad that's got a lot of oranges and reds, and you're doing an ad that looks absolutely nothing like the branding, they're going to go to the website. You click on that, you go to a website that's very, sterile, very clean. It's going to feel as if you went to the wrong website. It's going to look as if somebody just did an ad that was a boxed ad.
Right.
Something that they just had set aside. It's built to design and designed to get attention, and that's all. Doesn't have an actual goal of getting them you want to have a consistent experience throughout the whole thing. But yes, sometimes we will try and add reds or something like that that's going to pop out from their timeline a little bit more, colors that'll stand out from whatever experience. If it's going to be on Google, we want to make sure that it's going to always be consistent with the branding that they have on their website.
Makes sense. So I know you've got some examples that you want to share with us now. Virtual assistant Chad, if you could bring up an example, please. Let's take a look at what we've got. So here we have Warren Roofing. They're one of our clients, and we do some of their social media posting. This looks like their Facebook page. Tell me a little bit about what the thought process for this particular ad.
Yeah, well, for this ad, there's going to be, just like with any ad we do, there's going to be 3 main components that you want to make sure you have. Good messaging that is not too clunky in the words. You don't want to have too much because Facebook will not allow you to have too many words appearing inside of your ad. So right away, it's very straightforward. It's very clear to whoever's viewing it. We are looking for roofers. Very clear. And then you also have imagery. It's showing kind of the workspace that they're going to be in. It gives you, whether or not you know it, when you're looking at an image or a picture of the actual, these are individuals. We went out there and we took these pictures of these individuals actually on the workplace. It's giving you specifics. These are the guys you might be working with. This is kind of the general, type of people you'd be experiencing when you are on the job site. And then also a big thing is that you're seeing a main call to action, apply today. So we have something that's going to drive them to the next step.
Very simple.
Yes, they know who they're looking for. They get some general ideas by looking at the overall ad, the imagery that's in there, and then they know what the next step is.
I like the interaction there too. 45 people shared that, so obviously it was easy. People knew exactly what it was, and they wanted to share that with other people that might be looking for work.
Yeah, especially, and you got to keep in mind what's going to happen with the potential ads. With that, it's going to be people looking for jobs. So then you got somebody that maybe you don't necessarily want a job from them, but you do like Warren Roofing. You might share that. Oh, well, I like this company. We've worked with them in the past. I'm at a company that uses Warren Roofing, so I'm good. But I do have friends that I know, would like a job that's like this. They're going to share it. So it's important to just be very clear with your call to action. Not like we need somebody that has this exact, this exact certification in order to apply. Because then somebody who doesn't know what that is isn't going to share it because they don't.
Eyes go right away.
Exactly. So you're not just marketing for the people that you're trying to get to click on the ad, but with social media, a lot of times you're also looking for interaction with their friends as well. So you got to be very clear about that. And also you saw with that, we had consistent branding. We had the same greens that they use on their website, the same kind of colorings. If you were to click on that ad and go to the website, you would see it's a very similar layout and image. Yes.
The font was similar as well.
Yeah. So just making sure everything's consistent. As soon as they click on it, it should at least feel like they went to the right page and they're going to the website. It's a combined experience. It feels as if social media bleeds right over into their website and connects the two, and then that should elicit more traffic coming to the website as well.
Perfect. So there it is. John, thanks for giving us some tips there. I learned a lot about display advertising.
Happy to be here.
We're going to follow that up with a future episode that talks a little bit more about the targeting and the strategy behind where you place those ads and where you want to commit your budget and your ad spend in order to make those appear where the eyes will catch them. But for now, you just learned more about the creation of display ads before you finish your first cup of coffee than your competition will all day. Thank you, John. We'll see you next time on Company 119's The Coffee Cup.